Okay, so back to the amber beads. Let's show the Dominican mixed colors ones next to the fake plastic ones and put them under a UV light, and you can see a big difference where the Dominican ones obviously are glowing very well. And the fake plastic ones not so much. That's another very, very clear sign right there. So when they're just together like this, you can tell by the fact that this one has mixed colors and a lot of unique stuff. In fact, this bead right here looks like it might have an interesting inclusion. We might have just found something surprisingly cool on our hands. Side quest, let's check out that bead under a microscope. Ooh, interesting. Interesting. We might have found... See, in mixed amber beads, you can find anything. And it's possible that... And sometimes you even get insects in the beads. And as we... So that might be hair. It looks like hair, or possibly a spider, like a cobweb. And as you scroll through the beads, you'll see many different characteristics. No two beads are alike. I'd say 75% of the amber in the world is this mixed colors from any deposit, from Mexican, Dominican, Burmese, Baltic. 75% of the amber in the world is these mixed color beads. And when it's mixed color like this, you have a good chance of finding random things inside. Sometimes you actually can find insects inside. So these are very popular. And then this Indonesian, this Indonesian resin one. This one, you do see this in the marketplaces sometimes, and you do see it around. Just know that it's not 100% real amber. I'm not exactly sure how they make it. I'll probably update this post in the future and with more information on that. But the point about this is that this stuff is not your best bet. But of course, beads are a thing of taste. If you like a certain bead, you can get it. So with that, we're gonna do a whole new board now. So moving this over, and now let's look at some different colored amber and fake amber situations. So right here we have a mix of some new colored beads. Now, okay, first of all, in this screen, can you tell which one is the real amber and the fake amber? Let's see. We can do the UV light test, which works pretty well for amber, but remember, it's not definitive because not everything shines super well. So it's like, if I just kind of go like this over it, you'll see these beads aren't really reacting so much. These ones are doing good. These ones are Burmese amber, and these ones are, of course, real amber, with even with some inclusions inside. And this one is butterscotch or royal white amber, which glows pretty nicely under the UV light. And then this one's similar. Another butterscotch white amber. Now, can you spot the fake amber on the table? Let's see. On the table, there are two pieces of fake amber, and this one would be one of them. This one looks a lot like this is almost the same color as butterscotch amber and butterscotch amber chips. And butterscotch amber can kind of look like this in the raw, just so you know. Sort of similar to that. And I think I like this more like that. The thing about these is, first of all, let's put them under the UV light so we can see if there's a difference in their UV reaction. Butterscotch amber does react to UV light, as you can see on the right, but it reacts a little differently than clear amber. So if I'm waving the light back and forth, you can see how one of these reacts, which is the butterscotch chip one, and this one doesn't. You see the original purple color from the UV light? That means it's not reacting. So I This one is a stone. This one is actually a translucent stone, probably carnelian or something, but it's a stone that just happens to be the same color as amber. But it's not actually amber. And two ways that you can tell, this is kind of off camera, but one, you can tell that this one's a lot heavier. The one on the left is a lot heavier than the one on the right, because amber is very lightweight. And second of all, the stone ones are very cold to the touch, because stone and glass can be very cold to the touch, and so you can tell it's not amber as soon as you touch it. If you were to burn them, you would get different smells. This one wouldn't burn because it's a rock, and amber would burn. And yeah, also when you see this chip formation, that's almost always natural amber, because it would be very tedious for anybody to press amber into this shape or fake it into this shape. So this is usually a good sign, but this is what you might encounter in a similar situation. So there's that. And also, interestingly enough, on this one, the tag, if you look closely, the tag said real amber, but then they scribbled it out, and it was real amber. It was for $10, and they scribbled it out, and then they wrote $4.99 underneath, because they realized it's not real amber. So that was funny. I bought this at a store, and the tag was already like that. Next up on the list are these amber necklaces. So this is like a Burmese amber necklace, and a Burmese amber necklace is quite nice, 24 inches. And this is a mixed fake, mixed real amber necklace. So check out these two next to each other. Mixed fake and mixed real amber necklace. So let's check out them both under the UV light, which is our go-to test. So if I hit it with the UV light and I go back and forth, you'll see they all light up pretty good. So this one's an interesting one. So here we have, first of all, this Burmese one is awesome, and I'm gonna put it down. This fake amber, medium fake amber necklace is more the one we're interested in. The reason being, if we look at this necklace up close, we will see that the white amber chips of this necklace are real butterscotch amber, just like this. These are real butterscotch amber chips. And the beads here, they also light up, but they display strange characteristics. Why is that? Because the beads are pressed or heated amber. And the pressed or heated amber has this characteristic which is just kind of like smoky and melty, a little bit hard to describe, but I suppose you can see it on the camera. This characteristic is not necessarily found in natural amber. He just has a suspicious character. It's almost like a guy in a mask, if you know what to look for. So yeah, this one's interesting because it's mostly real amber, basically. It's just with these pressed amber beads. So it might throw you for a loop. Okay, so also there's royal white amber. This is a good color, and it's usually not faked at all. Raw amber of this color might look something like this. But usually when you look at amber jewelry, you might want to see it. You often see a spread of colors like this, and if you're shopping for amber and you see this spread of different colors, including butterscotch, white, darker, mixed colors, that's what you want to see when shopping for real amber. You want to see these mixed colors, because there's a lot of different color options available from each deposit, and this is all Baltic amber. When we're talking about the Baltic amber deposit, you know, they have clear amber, dark amber, butterscotch, and royal white like this are some of their more favored ones. And then, so yeah, so if you're shopping and their options look something like this, that's probably a good place. This is a very classic color. Those mixed colors there, those are very classic. So those are all good signs. Next up is our amber jewelry. Next up is silver amber jewelry. So maybe we don't need these guys there. All right, let's do pure silver amber jewelry. Next up is silver amber jewelry. So you can put amber in silver, you can put plastic in silver, or you can put heat-treated pressed amber in silver. And they're all different kinds. So let's see. First of all, the most important thing of this whole section to show you fake amber is to show you what is basically the most common fake amber on the market. And that is heat-treated Baltic amber. So you look at this ring. I'm sure every jewelry aficionado that's ever gone shopping for amber has seen a ring with these kind of characteristics in a jewelry store. There's all these little reflective things inside of it. Those are called spangles. Those are actually from heat treatment. This is a heat-treated Baltic amber ring, and they put it through a process that makes the amber stronger, supposedly, but it also makes it clearer. And those little starburst things in there are called spangles. Now, it's really important that you know that this kind of amber, although it's the most popular on the market, it's slightly altered. It starts as natural raw amber. It really is mined out of the earth, but they put it through a machine to cook it in heat and pressure. This is the most common thing that you see in all the jewelry stores, and you see a lot of necklaces with the same kind of things too. And here's another one of Baltic amber silver cross here, and this one, in fact, both of these have these kind of some of these heat treated characteristics. And so let's check it out a little closer. This one has a bunch of small little amber caps. Actually, pause. We didn't do my UV light test that I was doing at the beginning of each one of these. So we're gonna hit these guys with the UV light and see what lights up. And so, very important to keep an eye on this ring. So look at this one. This one lights up. This one lights up pretty good. These ones light up good. All these pretty much light up good except for this one heat-treated ring. You can see the reaction. The color is very different. And I'm gonna do a little close-up of, like, for example, two amber rings right next to each other. And you see the UV light reaction is very different for these two rings. This ring right here that's glowing a lot, that's a ring from Burma with a mosquito in it. That's a real amber ring with a mosquito. And this one here is the pressed or heat-treated Baltic one. And you can see their UV reactions are quite different. The Burmese one being much stronger and the Baltic one being much weaker. Once again, just for fun, let's put this next to the plastic one so we kind of have a range of all three, and you can see the UV light hits them very differently, each of them very differently, you know? So the heat-treated Baltic, the one here it loses some of its UV reactivity due to the heat treatment process. So it still is UV reactive, but it loses some of its reactivity, and it has those spangles, which I was explaining before. Those are a telltale sign that's been heat treated. Now, this is Burmese amber. This is all real amber. You can see they're glowing super well, and these have insects inside of them. And you can see that in these ones, they have insects, but the insects are very imperfect, which is actually a good sign. So that's a very good sign right there. This is very high grade insect and amber jewelry. So compare that to the heat treated one, and you can see you can tell there's a big difference in the quality of stuff. Look at that big difference. Real insects and amber from Burma or heat treated Baltic amber side by side. And here is another form of amber that is something you see a lot, where it's an amber cabochon that's painted black on the back, and then they do a reverse intaglio. It's painted black on the back, and then they do a reverse intaglio, and so it's interesting. But this one is is interesting. As you can see, the UV reaction is pretty good on this one. Not bad. Last but not least, a very real, very museum grade scorpion in amber pendant. And once again, when we use the UV light, one of the main things you always want to look for is special characteristics coming out of it. When you hit it with the UV light, you want to see some special characteristics that are like flow lines. Like, see those lines that appear and disappear with the UV light right there? You see those lines? Those are called flow lines, and those are the layers that the amber was laid down in. And that's a surefire sign that it's real, because no fake plastic amber ever has flow lines. Last but not least, we're going to go over the difference between natural Baltic amber and pressed Baltic amber. So keep in mind, Baltic amber is the only deposit in the world that does pressed amber. Now, just to show a few basic things, look, here's normal, real, natural amber, not pressed or nothing, right here, right? Those are little children's teething necklaces. Here's normal, not pressed, not heat treated Baltic amber, and they're half polished, but they're mixed colors, children's necklaces, pretty nice. Next up, here is pressed Baltic amber children's necklaces, and these ones are mixed. These ones are pressed amber, and I'll show you what raw pressed amber looks like. Just see here. Okay, so anyways, these ones are pressed amber. Look at these. These are pressed amber, and now let me show you what raw amber looks like. Raw Baltic amber could be something like this, and you can see it's kind of yellow. Raw Baltic amber, it may look something like this. I'm gonna get a better piece actually. Raw Baltic amber may look something like this, whereas you have the raw amber and you put a flashlight up to it, you see it's very clear. So if you were to make beads out of this, you would get beads that look something like this or like this, right? You get maybe some mixed color beads or some clear beads, but you get beads out of it that look like that. Now, there's other colors of Baltic amber, like this white butterscotch one, that this butterscotch raw amber, if you were to cut this thing up, you would get beads that look like, if you were to cut this up, you would get beads that look like this. Let's see, here we go. If you were to cut this up, you'd get beads that look like this. I'm gonna do another example. Like, if you cut up clear or mixed, you cut up mixed colored amber like this. Let's do this one. You cut up mixed color amber, you can get beads like this. And if you cut up like a very large AAA Baltic piece, very large AAA, you can get amber that looks if you cut up a very large AAA piece like this, you can get beads that look like this. This would be like the corresponding beads. So, last but not least, we have pressed amber. So this is a block of pressed amber. Look at this. This is clearly man-made, but what it is they took, in their workshop, when they work with a piece like this, if they cut it and they get little scraps of this nice white valuable color, this nice white color that's called butterscotch or could be bone amber, they'll get little chips that are too small to make something like this. So if they're really, really small chips, what they do is they collect them and they put them in an autoclave, which is something that cooks it under high heat and high pressure. And in the autoclave, all those little pieces melt down, and they melt them into a mold like this. They melt them into a mold like this, and then they can take that mold once it cools down and it's ready to cut. This is real amber, it's just been remelted, and so it's kind of recycled. And then once they cut that amber and they make beads out of it, you can get beads that look something like this. And so this would be the kind of beads that you would get if you cut up this, or if you got a different color. Like if you got a different color ingot, the color will change depending on the types of scraps you collect, then you could get something like this. So that's it for how to tell real amber from fake amber.